Have you ever found yourself holding on to things from the past a little too tightly? Maybe it's an old habit, a lingering worry, or even just the way you've always done things. As we age, it's natural to accumulate a lot of experiences, and some of them, while meaningful, can also become burdens. But what if letting go of certain things could help you live a lighter, happier, and more fulfilled life? I'm sure you've heard the saying, with age comes wisdom, and that's true, but it's also about learning to let go of the things that no longer serve you. As we hit our 70s and beyond, the way we look at life tends to shift. We begin to realize that not everything is worth holding on to, and sometimes, the best thing we can do for ourselves is to embrace change, even in small ways. Today, we're going to talk about 7 things that you might want to consider letting go of after 70 for a happier life. Now, I know this might sound a little daunting at first. Letting go can be tough. But trust me, it's liberating. It's about freeing yourself from old baggage and making room for new opportunities. So, let's dive right in and look at the first few things that you can release for a more joyful, stress-free life. The first thing I want to talk about is something many of us hold on to far longer than we should: resentment. I get it, life can be challenging, and people don't always treat us the way we deserve to be treated. Whether it's a falling out with a family member, a friend who disappointed you, or a situation from your past that still stings, resentment can weigh heavily on your heart. But the truth is, holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. It only hurts you. By the time we reach our 70s, we've likely had our fair share of conflicts and misunderstandings. But one of the most freeing things you can do for yourself is to forgive, not for the sake of others, but for your own peace of mind. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior. It simply means you're choosing not to carry that heavy burden anymore. It's about releasing the negative emotions that are holding you back from experiencing joy in the present moment. And let's face it, resentment has a way of sticking around, doesn't it? But what if, just for today, you let it go? Imagine how much lighter you would feel if you could forgive yourself and others for past mistakes. It's not about saying, it's okay what they did. It's about saying, I'm not going to let that event steal any more of my happiness. Now, let's talk about the second thing we often hold on to: expectations. Expectations can be a tricky thing. As we grow older, we have certain ideas about how life should go, or how our children, friends, or even we ourselves should behave. But life doesn't always unfold according to plan. Sometimes, things happen that are out of our control, and those expectations can set us up for disappointment. One example might be the expectation that we should be in perfect health, or that our children should visit more often. When these expectations aren't met, we can feel frustrated, resentful, or even sad. But here's the thing: life is unpredictable, and if you hold on to rigid expectations, you might find yourself constantly frustrated. So, what if instead of setting expectations that create stress and disappointment, you focus on embracing the present as it is? If you're in good health today, be grateful for it. If you're not, recognize that it's okay, you're doing the best you can, and that's enough. If your family doesn't visit as often as you'd like, take pride in the independence you've built and the relationships that work, rather than holding on to the idealized version of what things should be like. Let go of those expectations, and you'll find that life becomes a lot more fulfilling. Along with expectations, another thing we often hold on to is the fear of change. It's understandable, change can feel intimidating, especially as we get older. After all, we've spent years building habits, relationships, and routines that make us feel comfortable. But here's the thing: change is inevitable. The world around us is constantly shifting, and we can either resist it or embrace it. Think about it: how many times have you heard someone say, "I've never done it that way before," or "I'm too old to change"? Change can be scary, but it's also what keeps life interesting. It could be something small, like trying a new hobby, or something bigger, like moving to a new place or shifting your mindset about aging. The point is that change opens up new possibilities and helps you stay engaged in life. It keeps your brain sharp and your spirit alive. So, what if instead of fearing change, you embraced it? What if you saw it as an opportunity for growth and renewal, rather than a threat? Maybe it's time to try something new, or to look at an old situation in a new light. When you let go of the fear of change, you give yourself the freedom to grow, learn, and experience all the beauty that life still has to offer. Now that we've talked about resentment, expectations, and the fear of change, let's move on to another important thing to let go of: unnecessary possessions. As we accumulate more years, we often accumulate more things, too. But sometimes, those things end up becoming burdens rather than blessings. Take a moment and think about your home. Do you have items that no longer serve a purpose, or that hold on to memories that might be better left behind? At this stage of life, it's easy to collect stuff without thinking about it, maybe gifts from the past, things you've inherited, or even items that you've held onto just because they remind you of a different time. But here's the thing, possessions don't define you. In fact, they can often weigh you down, both physically and emotionally. The clutter in your home can contribute to feelings of overwhelm and stress. Letting go of unnecessary possessions can be incredibly liberating. It's not about getting rid of everything, but about letting go of the things that no longer serve you or bring you joy. Decluttering can create a sense of space in your home and in your life, allowing you to focus on the things that truly matter. It can also give you a sense of freedom, knowing that you're no longer attached to things just for the sake of attachment. So, as you think about letting go, consider taking small steps. Maybe it's sorting through a drawer, or donating an item you haven't used in years. It's about letting go of the excess and focusing on the things that bring you comfort and joy. That's a lot of heavy lifting we've done so far, but the benefits of letting go are worth it. By releasing resentment, expectations, fear of change, and unnecessary possessions, you create space for new, more positive experiences. And remember, this isn't about completely overhauling your life, it's about making small, intentional shifts that can help you live more fully and happily. Now that we've touched on some of the things you can let go of to start feeling lighter and freer, like resentment, expectations, fear of change, and unnecessary possessions, let's dive deeper into a few more aspects of life that might be holding you back. These aren't just little habits or mindsets, they're deep-seated patterns that, if left unchecked, can stop you from truly living your best life after 70. Let's take a look at the next few things to consider releasing, as they'll bring you a sense of peace and freedom that will allow you to embrace the fullness of your golden years. Let's start with the idea of perfectionism. If you're like many people, you might have spent a lot of years striving for perfection, whether it was in your career, your relationships, or even how your home looked. The pressure to always do things perfectly can be exhausting. When we're younger, we often think that perfection is something to aspire to, believing that it will lead to happiness and success. But as time goes by, you begin to realize that perfection is a moving target, always shifting just out of reach. In your 70s and beyond, it's important to understand that imperfection is a part of life. In fact, it's often the imperfections, the quirks, the moments of spontaneity that make life more beautiful. If you've been holding yourself to impossible standards, it might be time to let go of the belief that everything needs to be flawless. Perfectionism can prevent you from enjoying life in the moment because you're too focused on what's wrong or what's not good enough. It's time to free yourself from that burden. Imagine this: instead of stressing over whether your house is spotless or whether your meal is picture perfect, you focus on the people and experiences that bring you joy. The beauty of life lies in its imperfections, the spontaneous laugh, the unplanned adventures, the messiness of being human. So, why not let go of the need to be perfect? By releasing perfectionism, you can experience a greater sense of peace and satisfaction. You'll stop measuring yourself against impossible standards and start appreciating yourself for who you are, flaws and all. Next, let's move on to something that may feel a little more challenging for many people: guilt. Guilt is a tricky emotion. It can sneak up on you, often when you least expect it. Perhaps you feel guilty about past decisions, about things you didn't do, or even things you did but wish you hadn't. As we get older, it's natural to look back and reflect on our lives, but guilt can keep us stuck in the past, preventing us from moving forward with a sense of peace and fulfillment. But here's the truth: you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Every decision, every mistake, and every triumph was part of your unique journey. Holding on to guilt doesn't serve you. It only weighs you down and clouds your ability to enjoy the present. So, what if you let it go? What if, instead of focusing on past regrets, you allowed yourself the freedom to forgive and move on? Releasing guilt can be incredibly liberating. It means recognizing that we're all imperfect beings, learning as we go. It's about embracing self-compassion and recognizing that you're worthy of peace, even if things didn't go according to plan. Guilt has no place in a life that's meant to be enjoyed. Let go of the weight of past decisions, and give yourself permission to live without the heavy burden of self-blame. You've earned it. Now, while we're talking about emotional baggage, let's consider the fear of being a burden. This is a common worry for many seniors, and it can cause a lot of anxiety. As we age, it's natural to worry about how our loved ones will view us or whether we'll need help. But here's something important to remember: needing help doesn't make you a burden. It's simply a part of the aging process, just like gaining wisdom and enjoying new experiences. There's nothing shameful about asking for assistance when you need it. Letting go of this fear is liberating because it allows you to be more open and accepting of support. It's important to remember that loved ones often want to help, and by allowing them to, you're giving them the gift of connection and the chance to give back the love and care you've given them throughout your life. In fact, asking for help can strengthen relationships and make them even more meaningful. Rather than hiding your needs or worrying about how others might perceive you, embrace the support around you. You deserve it. Whether it's asking for help with grocery shopping, hiring someone to assist with housework, or simply leaning on a friend or family member for emotional support, there's no shame in asking for help. Releasing this fear of being a burden means embracing the love and care that's available to you and accepting that everyone needs help sometimes. It's not a weakness, it's a sign of strength to be able to accept help with grace and gratitude. Another thing that many of us tend to hold on to is the need to stay busy all the time. It's almost as if we're afraid that if we're not doing something, we're being unproductive or wasting time. But here's the thing: the pressure to be constantly busy can actually rob you of joy and peace. You may feel that you always have to have a packed schedule or that taking time for yourself is somehow selfish. But in reality, relaxation and self-care are not only essential for your well-being, they're also deeply rejuvenating. In our younger years, we often feel like we have to earn rest by being productive. But after 70, it's crucial to allow yourself to slow down and enjoy the present. You don't have to be doing something all the time to be valuable or worthy. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments happen when we're simply being still, whether that's reading a book, taking a quiet walk, or simply enjoying a cup of tea. The art of slowing down isn't about laziness, it's about taking time to appreciate life and recharge your body and mind. When you let go of the need to constantly stay busy, you create space for relaxation, reflection, and deeper connections with yourself and others. You'll find that slowing down allows you to truly savor each moment. So, rather than filling your calendar with endless tasks and appointments, consider embracing moments of rest and quiet. There's beauty in slowing down and allowing yourself the time to breathe and simply be. Finally, let's talk about the idea of holding on to outdated beliefs about yourself or about the world around you. Sometimes, we get stuck in old ways of thinking that no longer serve us. Maybe it's the belief that you're too old to try new things, or that you can't change certain aspects of your life. But these outdated beliefs limit your potential for growth and happiness. It's time to let go of the idea that you are defined by your age or by past limitations. You are never too old to learn, to grow, or to try something new. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, taking a class, or pursuing a new passion, you have the ability to change your life at any stage. Don't let the past or outdated beliefs hold you back from living fully in the present. The world is constantly changing, and so are you. Letting go of outdated beliefs means embracing the possibility of reinvention. You can choose to live in a way that brings you joy and fulfillment, regardless of what society may say about age or limitations. You can shape your own story, free from the constraints of old beliefs. As we've explored, letting go of perfectionism, guilt, the fear of being a burden, the need to stay busy, and outdated beliefs create space for a more fulfilling and peaceful life. It allows you to release the things that are holding you back and make room for new possibilities and growth. And that's exactly what we want for you: freedom to live your life with joy, peace, and authenticity. Now that we've explored how letting go of resentment, expectations, perfectionism, guilt, the fear of being a burden, and the pressure to stay busy can help you feel lighter and more fulfilled, let's move on to the final things you can consider releasing to lead a truly happier and more peaceful life. These last few aspects can have a profound impact on your emotional and physical well-being, helping you to embrace the present moment and look forward to the future with excitement and gratitude. Let's start with something that many people struggle with: fear of the unknown. As we age, it's common to become more concerned about what lies ahead. We might worry about our health, our finances, or whether we're doing enough with the time we have left. But living in constant fear of what's to come can rob us of the joy of living in the present. The truth is, life is unpredictable, no matter what age you are. But here's the thing: uncertainty doesn't have to be a source of anxiety. In fact, it can be a source of excitement and growth. As we get older, it becomes even more important to release the fear of the unknown and embrace the mystery of life. By letting go of that fear, you give yourself the freedom to explore new possibilities, whether that's trying out a new hobby, making new friends, or simply being open to whatever life brings your way. It's natural to feel some apprehension about the future, but constantly worrying about it keeps you from enjoying the beauty of the present. Instead of fearing what might happen tomorrow, focus on what you can do today to make the most of your time. Embrace the idea that the unknown doesn't have to be something to fear, it's an invitation to explore and experience new things. Let go of the need to control every outcome, and trust that things will unfold as they should. Next, we have negative self-talk. I'm sure you've heard that little voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, or that you're too old to try something new, or that you've missed your chance. That voice can be incredibly powerful, and unfortunately, it often becomes louder as we get older. Negative self-talk can be one of the most insidious things holding you back from living your best life. But here's the truth: you are worthy of love, worthy of joy, and worthy of new experiences, no matter your age. The way you talk to yourself has a direct impact on how you feel and how you approach life. So, if you're constantly telling yourself that you're too old, too slow, or too unimportant, it's time to let go of those limiting beliefs. Replace the negative self-talk with affirmations that empower you, that remind you of your strengths, and that honor the wisdom and experience you've accumulated over the years. Start by simply becoming aware of the negative thoughts that pop into your head, and when they do, replace them with something positive. Maybe it's something as simple as "I am capable" or "I deserve to enjoy life." Over time, these positive affirmations will become second nature, and you'll notice a shift in your confidence and outlook on life. Let go of the negative self-talk and replace it with a narrative that uplifts and empowers you. Now, let's move on to something that might surprise you: the need to please others. As we get older, we often become more aware of the expectations others have for us. Maybe it's our children, friends, or society at large. But here's a powerful truth: you don't owe anyone an explanation for how you live your life. After all these years, it's time to live for yourself. For many seniors, especially women, the pressure to please others can be overwhelming. We might feel like we have to take care of everyone else's needs before our own, that we have to say yes to every request, or that we need to keep up appearances to avoid disappointing others. But constantly putting others' needs before your own can drain your energy and prevent you from living authentically. By letting go of the need to please others, you free yourself from the weight of other people's expectations. This doesn't mean you stop caring about your loved ones or being kind to others, it simply means that you prioritize your own well-being, needs, and desires. It's about giving yourself permission to say no when something doesn't serve you, and yes to the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Letting go of the need to please others is an act of self-respect and self-care, and it's a crucial step in living a life that feels true to you. Another thing to let go of is the idea of someday, that magical, undefined time in the future when you think everything will fall into place, when you'll have the time, the energy, or the resources to do something meaningful. You know what I'm talking about: someday, I'll travel more; someday, I'll take up that hobby; someday, I'll spend more time with my friends. The problem with someday is that it often stays just that, an idea that never actually materializes. The truth is, there's no better time than now. Don't wait for the perfect moment or for life to line up just the way you want it. Life is happening now, and it's up to you to make the most of it. Let go of the notion that you need to wait for a perfect time to do the things you've always dreamed of. The time is now. Start small, maybe it's signing up for that painting class, calling an old friend, or planning a weekend getaway. The more you let go of the idea of someday, the more you'll realize that today is the day to start living fully. Finally, let's talk about holding on to outdated routines. As we get older, it's easy to fall into a comfortable routine, and while routines can be helpful, sometimes we get stuck in habits that no longer serve us. We might eat the same meals every day, stick to the same activities, or even keep the same mindset because it feels familiar. But life is meant to be dynamic, and holding on to outdated routines can prevent you from experiencing all the wonderful things that are out there waiting for you. It's time to break free from the routines that no longer bring you joy or fulfillment. Try something new, whether it's exploring a new hobby, changing your daily schedule, or even changing the way you think about your goals. Letting go of outdated routines means giving yourself permission to grow, change, and experience the world in new ways. And who knows? You might discover something you absolutely love. So, we've covered a lot today. By letting go of the fear of the unknown, negative self-talk, the need to please others, the idea of someday, and outdated routines, you can free yourself from the things that weigh you down. Letting go isn't about giving up, it's about making space for the things that truly matter, for the things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Remember, life after 70 doesn't have to be filled with regrets or should-haves. It can be a time of growth, exploration, and immense joy. Letting go of what no longer serves you is the first step toward living a more peaceful and vibrant life. Take a deep breath, smile, and embrace the freedom that comes with releasing the past and opening yourself up to the possibilities of today. As we wrap up, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on what you might want to let go of in your own life. It's not about perfection or achieving everything at once. It's about taking small, deliberate steps towards a life that feels lighter, more joyful, and more in tune with your true self. If you found any of this helpful, please like this video, subscribe for more insights, and share your thoughts in the comments. Here's to living your best life at any age.